I'm Matt Nava. I'm the creative director at Giant Squid, and we're working on Abzu.
Matt, what is Abzu?
Abzu is an underwater game, and you are a diver who is lost in an ocean world, searching in the depths for her past and her true purpose.
Now, what did you guys learn from Journey that you're applying to Abzu?
I worked on Journey as art director, and the thing I learned from that team, really talented developers there, was that games can really deliver experiences to players that are very powerful, and there's a lot of room for making these kind of experiential games that provide really meaningful experiences. And so what I want to do with Abzu is really take that further and provide an experience that players will remember for a long time. Hopefully will help them kind of reflect and be a very personal journey.
Now, Journey was a hard game to kind of classify. It wasn't action adventure, it wasn't role playing. It's kind of its own genre. Same thing with Abzu. What genre would you kind of classify it under?
It's really true. It's really hard to call it one thing because it's so many things and it's really unique as well. It's an exploration game. It's very focused on letting the player discover these environments and discover a connection with the sea life they encounter at their own pace. Journey was this very, it was a desert world. There's not very much life there. And in Abzu, I really wanted to focus on making a lush world, a world that is full of life for the player to discover.
Now, underwater levels in most video games are infamous in bad ways. How are you making underwater gameplay fun in Abzu?
So one thing that's really interesting about making an underwater game is that there's such a lack of really outstanding ones. There's a lot of opportunity there to do something different and make it more fun and a better experience. And one thing that we realized, Brian and I, my lead engineer, are scuba divers, and we realized that when you're actually scuba diving, the last thing you're thinking about is your air gauge and your equipment. You're just engrossed in this world and just completely soaking up this majesty. And so that's really what we wanted to focus on, instead of making the player have this kind of stressful idea of you're in this environment that you don't belong in. Make them belong in that environment and make it really fun to navigate. So we approach the controls in a very novel way. We allow a lot of freedom, and we hope that by creating that and really giving the player kind of an emotional narrative to discover, we'll create an experience that's really different than most underwater games.
How are you guys dealing with the physics in this game? Because they've got to be kind of complicated.
There's tons of different kinds of physics that we're simulating. We've got fish that are swimming and schooling dynamically. We've got this diver who is neutrally buoyant and has the ability to flip in many different rotations. I think that one of the most complex things is just the rotational math. Once you get spun in a lot of different angles, it's really tricky to make sure that she always is fluid. And that's one of the things that we focus on, is this idea of fluidity in all the mechanics.
And when will this game be out, and on what platforms?
So we're shooting to release in the first half of 2016 on PS4 and PC.